So I'm Robert Samuel, I'm an Executive Director at Consult Point. So we've provided program and change management services and general advice to the Redfern Legal Centre on the non-legal aspects of delivering a broadband service into rural and regional New South Wales. Well, it's very exciting for me. International students is a major export earner for Australia, and the Redfern Legal Centre is providing a major service in making sure that their experiences in Australia are positive. And through the National Broadband Network, that service is now genuinely being delivered throughout the state of New South Wales. The University of New England is one of Australia's major distance learning institutions, and the University of New England Redfern Legal Centre International Student Service is actually reaching everywhere that the National Broadband Network goes, and in fact further. The project itself is pretty speculative, it's pretty risky, and without the support of the Attorney General's Department and also the Department of Broadband Communication and the Digital Economy, I don't think it would have been possible. It's too big a risk for any one organisation to take to change the way they deliver things. But we've actually seen that in a very short space of time, we've proved the concept, and we're pretty excited about seeing whether or not we can move from a pilot to something more substantial and something more permanent.
What really excites me is just doing things in a new way and being able to connect with clients that can't come in to see us using a video link up and face-to-face connections with them. And that could be just as valuable for someone who's down the road but can't leave the house as someone that's out in remote New South Wales or Australia.
My first impressions of the two elements of the technology, firstly the video conferencing medium, and then secondly the e-documents kind of system, were very positive. The client seemed to be very at ease with the technology as well.
Well, I think having that technology available might make it more appealing for people to contact us because who live in regional areas, because they can have that face-to-face contact. And potentially there may be volunteer lawyers who, although they couldn't commit to coming here physically, might be willing to give some time if they can do the volunteer work via the NBN from their own offices. So it may expand our pool of people who might want to be involved in giving volunteer advice.
The project is going to really improve and expand on the delivery of services for Redfern Legal Centre. We at the moment have a couple of statewide services where we do appointments by telephone, and now we are able to link in using the face-to-face technology, which is just such an incredible change and such a bonus for us and for our clients.
It's very important, particularly from people from culturally and linguistically diverse communities and from Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander background, to be able to develop a relationship of trust with the person providing the advice to them, and being able to see that person and to be able to form a view of that person, to be able to read those things about the person that you do when you're face-to-face with them, does facilitate or does make it easier for that relationship of trust to build.
There's been a couple of challenges with the project. One is getting used to new IT systems. That was probably the least of the problems. The other problem was pretty much getting people to work in a new way. So there is a little bit of resistance from some of the lawyers and volunteer lawyers at Redfern Legal Centre in just changing the way they do things. The project management has also been very important. We've been very lucky to have a partnership with Consult Point, a company who has been helping us with manage the project and doing the reporting and planning for the project, and that has allowed us to focus more on the delivery of legal services.
Using the NBN will fit in very well with our existing international student service. In essence, it's exactly the same process where you have a lawyer communicating with a client and giving them advice, and it's just a different way of doing that. So it's no reason why it won't fit in very well with the way we already run things here. I think the NBN project could definitely be used by other community legal centres, particularly those centres that have a statewide brief. It could really help them make their services more accessible and better quality across the state.